western town, and we're working on the Sawmill. Now, I didn't want to download any more CC, so I tried to do this without downloading CC, and I think I got pretty close to what I was imagining in my head. This is currently a residential lot. I think I'm going to rezone it, though, to a commercial lot because it needs to be owned by the Wolf family. And yeah, it was downloaded from, oh god, I don't remember. It was a French website. They had a lot of cool CC. It's not up anymore. I don't remember. You can see what it looks like. So yeah, a sawmill in kind of the Old West, depending on where you were, if you were more of a desert location, would be different than sawmills like near water, essentially, because they weren't really, you know, sending logs down the river and then cutting them up there right next to it. They were mostly cutting down trees and preparing them for homes that way. I didn't do too much research, I'm not gonna lie. I was just mostly looking at pictures going, oh, that looks cool. Because I knew, functionally speaking, this was already going to be difficult, and I didn't want to put the pressure on myself. Oh goodness, that's a dog noise. So yeah, I just kind of was grabbing stuff out, trying to figure out what I had. The only thing I really didn't have was a saw blade, which, you know, seems fairly important, but I will go ahead and download one of those if I can find one. But other than that, I feel like I got close to what the mission was in my head. I like the little cantina. I wanted to keep that as like a place to eat. I wanted a place to kind of clean up. Where that fire pit is, I knew I wanted some sort of like makeshift camp for the workers. I also got the idea to take the counterfeiting machine and put it near where the sawmill tables were. Because if I can get an invisible recolor, then it looks like people are doing something and they're making money, but like, they're not actually doing anything. It just looks that way. It's nice for pictures. And Bon Voyage actually had a lot of objects that were useful in this, in terms of just making it a little bit more functional. Like the giant tree ring that Sims, are, if they view it, get little pop-ups. The axe throwing, the log roller, just little things that give it character and will also give people something to do when they're on this lot. This was actually a long build, and I think it might be my last build in the town part for a while. I do want to rebuild the lots that I lost, but I haven't quite worked up to that yet. So instead, I'm probably going to actually start on the homesteading portion, because I've got enough lots now that they can come into town and do things without it being completely empty, but at the same time, they're going to mostly be on their own lots anyway, so it's fine. I'm still trying to work out what my homesteading rules are going to be, just because there are some challenges out there already, and I know that there's functional objects where they can build doors, they can build windows, so that'll be helpful, but just like writing out the rules, the determining, you know, how many trees do they need to cut down to build a wall? That sort of thing, because, like, in the Old West, proving your claim was a very common term, and it was something that people talked about, but, like, finding a definition of what a proven claim had to be is very vague. Some of it's just like the land is cleared and there's outbuildings. It's like, okay, but what kind of outbuilding? Like, could it be a shack? Does that count? How is the land cleared? Does it have to be farmed? Is there specific things that they're looking for? Or was it just based on vibes? Because I am curious about that. And I want to base my challenge as close as possible to the real thing. I know I'm going to place a lot of trees that can be cut down. And for my challenge, they'll have to cut down like 80% of the trees at least. They'll be allowed to leave some for just making it look nice, but they'll need to cut down the trees, which is going to be hard. Like, that's going to be a hard challenge for the Sims. They're also going to be in the largest lot possible in The Sims 2, so there's going to be a lot of trees. Some of them might start with a little bit more than others, just because I'm fairly confident there's some toddlers. I can't remember. It's been a minute. I'm gonna have to review the 5 families that I selected to be homesteaders, because the rest from that Oregon Trail Challenge are, of course, in town, so I don't have to worry about them. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't have much to say, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm finally getting away from being sick, which is nice, but still just like on the edge. I'm still coughing. I had a very productive day yesterday. I submitted my renders and my floor plan and my design plan for a dressing room that I'm working on, and yet another cook has been added to the kitchen. There's now 4 people involved. 3 of them are just approving what I said, but like, I don't know. It seems like too many cooks who don't actually want to be involved and are just being told to be involved. But like, I'll go in there tomorrow and paint it. Like, I will paint, I will pick up the things, I will put it all together. Just let me do it. Let me work. Because there's not much that I can do in my rental home anymore. Like, I've reached an impasse of, there is a limit of things you can do in a rental home, and I've reached it. So I want to decorate other spaces because I'm bored. And creative people who are bored are not the best people, because then we just find projects. We go out in the world and we find projects and we convince people to let us make the project. Unrelated, in retrospect, I wish I did do the floorboard trail, at least like from the main road. I didn't do it because it seemed weird, but like I should have done it. Oh well. I was thinking about it and I was like, no, it's because it's supposed to be a dock, but like, it could be just boards they put down because it was muddy. So yeah, I'm hoping that my little project gets approval and I can go in there and paint and see it finished. Because I've been having a lot of fun being stage mom, basically, and that's part of it. As I don't have certain things. I'm like, they're like, oh, do you have any Visine? Well, no, but we should have that on hand because we've got a bunch of bright lights in people's faces. We probably need that. Lint rollers, blotting paper, just give me the tools. We'll see. I'm just excited. I keep talking about it and no one wants to hear about it, so now you have to hear about it. What else is going on? I still need to cut my cross stitch board. I need help though, because it's a gigantic board. And like, I can't just cut it on the ground. I mean, I probably could. Now that I think about it, I probably could do it myself, but like, I did promise that I wouldn't. Just in case I lose a finger. Because I would like to keep all of my digits if I can, but like, I think I could put it on the ground, score it with a razor blade a couple times, and then just break it. Because it's just a pegboard, so it's not super dense. That might happen later today, because I want to do it, and I feel bad asking, because my partner's busy and works every day, and like, I don't want to annoy him, but I'm like, I want to do this, please help. I've got the design, I've got the yarn, I just need to cut it. It's gonna look so cool too. That's another project that I've been waiting to finish. Once that's done, I get to finally take the plunge, and I've got these 2 resin antlers that I need to bend in order to make a hanging light, and I'm nervous about it because they're expensive, and I've never done it before, but like, I think I just need to do it. I was really excited about this part behind the cantina with the wooden wash basin thing, just because it made sense. Like, before you go to eat, you want to wash up and not have sawdust all over you so you could eat. It was cute. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of log CC installed in the save file either, which was not helpful. Like, this thing that I'm using here, I don't even know what to properly call it, but like, it's already cut, so I don't know. It's good enough. It's good enough. It mimics what I want to do. And yeah, I had a lot of just random pieces of CC that I'm like, well, maybe. So I can kept the fish, because I was like, oh well, maybe they were fishing, and it's a makeshift camp. I did leave the modern stall things in there for now, just because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, or how I wanted that to look. That is actually a little toy making machine, which I thought was cute. Wheel of Time is out, and I get to watch the other 2 episodes today. And the first episode was so good. I understand now why it was called The Shreddening, and just like, oh my gosh. They did not hold back. They did not hold back, and it is... I have never seen anything quite like it before, especially from a fantasy-esque series. Usually... when there's war, it's prettier. And this was pretty, but this was like also brutal. It's one of the most brutal fight scenes that I've seen in a while. It's up there with probably one of my favorite movie fight scenes is from Kingsman: The Secret Circle. The church scene is so good and burned into my memory permanently because it's so brutal, but it's so good. And yeah, this season 3, episode 1, Wheel of Time, burned in my brain forever. It's just so good. And it helps that there's the added, I guess, fighting complication of magic users, but like close combat fighting magic users who, some of them are trained in fighting, some of them are not, but they also can heal. So it's almost like seeing a video game, but like real action. In a way, like, again, it's not something that I've seen, because like you see people with healing potions and things like that, but most of the time, like in movies, they don't treat it like you would if you were in a game. And it just is so good, so good. I'm really excited about all of it. Now I want to watch it right now, but I have to do things first. And I know once I start watching it, that I am going to be impossible to, like, there will be no functioning from me. I am just going to be watching it for 2 hours. But I also can't go on most of the internet right now, because in sharing my effusive love of the series, now everybody wants to talk about it, and a lot of people have already watched it, and I'm like, no! It's the one thing that I'm like, I know the story, but like, I don't want it to be visually spoiled for me. So I'm just hiding from the internet. I gotta start doing pre-recording though, because as I mentioned, I'm going on another trip, kind of mid-April to the end of April, a much longer trip. And yeah, I need to plan for that, and I also need to record things, and I also need to make sure that my Sims story is scheduled out appropriately, which I'm having a lot of fun with, and it seems like it's something people are enjoying reading, which is always great. Because I know it's a Sims story, but like writing it has been a really good exercise for me, and just like actually having a schedule and keeping to it, that is the most difficult thing that I've found personally for me, like as a writer, is I just don't have like that dedication, ambition, like I don't have that thing in me where I could go, okay, I'm gonna write this many words today, and then it happens. Like, that's just, it's always been a struggle for me. So I'm really pleased that it's been something I can keep up with. Especially now that we're almost done kind of with the prequel part, which is just introducing all the characters and how they ended up in the place that they ended up. So we can actually start telling the story as it is now, so to speak. I kind of just plunked terrain paint here. I don't really love it, but like, I feel like this is a muddy area in general. So the places where there are walking trails, there's not going to be, it's not going to be sparse, you know, it's going to be really dense dirt and mud and just filled in. I did want to try to have some trees though, even though it is a sawmill, so like probably not gonna have trees. I needed one. I also decided to put cactus down because it felt appropriate. Because this is meant to be prairie-ish, so cactus does exist on the prairie. This is me just mocking up my simulation sawmill setup there. I almost don't think that I need to recolor that thing invisible, because facing away you can't tell it's money, so like, it could just be part of the machine. You don't know. I don't know. No one knows. I'm still not the best landscaper. I try, but some spaces, particular spaces that like there isn't a lot of landscape, like it just, they look empty and blank, especially surrounded as they are in this world by nothing. It's harder to fill them in, but I tried. I don't really know what the hay is for there. Use your imagination, I guess. Same with the salt bucket. I like the idea that that's some sort of sawdust powder and they put it on their hands when they're practicing throwing axes. Yeah, I was just trying to find like anything log-esque that I could come and toss down. Because visually speaking, when you take screenshots, you want it to at least look kind of nice. Even if they don't necessarily make sense. I really like this item. It just makes ground cover a lot easier because it's just kind of random, but yeah, that's basically this lot. So thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, the next one will be actually the challenge. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help, and I'll see you in the next one.